All right. Well, we have fucking made it. Made it to the end of the week. Another week down of what really has been, considering how I felt a couple days, this has been a really fucking good week of training. Really fucking good. In terms of, what I used to measure my weeks or days of training by would be like if I hit PRs, or not even 1 rep max PRs, just say like 5 rep maxes or 3 rep maxes, sometimes even more than that. Um, that's how I used to measure how good a week would be. Not every week, obviously. You can't hit maxes every week, but that's kind of how I used to judge and go off of. Not anymore. Anymore, what I judge a good week by is, yeah, I mean, you can still throw in some PRs, but nothing even close to 1 rep maxes or 3 or 5, anything like that. But yeah, I mean, what I judge my weeks off of now is the pumps, the noticeable differences in my physique. Now that's not always going to be noticeable, so maybe I should take that word out. But then most importantly, how I feel. You know what I mean? Like this is the last day of my training week for this week, and I feel great. Like like now come back to me at the end of this workout and see if I say this, but part of me kind of wants to come in tomorrow on my rest day and maybe just do some cardio or a kind of like a full body, nothing with any really crazy heavy weight, but kind of like a full body circuit or something, some hit training. Anybody, I'm sure a lot of you know what that is, but high intensity interval training. Now I know if I do that, it probably, it would come back to bite me next week or the week after. Like your rest is very important. It is very overlooked, especially if you're a newbie. You can kind of afford to not take many rest days if you are a newbie. That's when you're going to get the most gains. That's when you're the most fresh. That's when and you're not lifting that crazy heavy weight, so your body doesn't need as much recovery time. You know what I mean? When you start getting 3, 5, 7+ years into your training consistently, and you really start to see yourself get stronger and stronger and stronger, and think about it, the stronger you get, the more rest you're going to need because the more recovery you're going to need from lifting that heavy weight. It just makes sense, right? So, but yeah, I want to. I doubt I do come in tomorrow, but part of me kind of wants to. But that's when I know I've kind of managed everything pretty well this week. I've pushed my training sessions pretty hard. Yesterday I even lifted heavy on my first 3 sets of incline bench. I feel great today. I feel great. So that's kind of what you want. Unless you're so depleted, you're so dieted down, that no matter what you do, you're gonna feel it. But you want to be able to, train hard, but by the end of the week, not be so exhausted, that you can't even function hardly. And I've been there a lot. I've done that a lot. Um, so yeah, I mean, I feel good. This is gonna be not a ton. I mean, I got to hit shoulders again on Sunday. So I'm thinking today, no heavy compound stuff. We'll just focus on the side delts, a lot of flies, um, two separate exercises, 3 sets each with the drop set, I would imagine, and then I'll throw in 6 sets of triceps. Same thing, 2 separate exercises. Um, That'd be it. I'm actually gonna throw in some ab training today. I say actually because I typically only hit abs once a week. That's every Sunday. But I want to start. Like, is it true that you can't really target what area of fat you're gonna lose? I mean, there was a recent study that I read that actually showed if you're checking all your boxes outside of the gym, you're eating good, you're sleeping well, you're recovering well, that you actually can slightly target. So like if you're trying to target that belly fat, you can target it actually if you do like circuit training or hit training, like I said earlier, and a lot of it involves your core. You really, have that targeted area right here. And there's a bunch of scientific, lingo that explains it more thoroughly. So if you want to look it up, you can find it. But it does say that. So, but again, you have to have all your other boxes checked. You need to be eating good, and if you're eating like shit, you're just wasting your time. But so like I'm not gonna go crazy, but if I can up my ab training 2 to 3 times a week instead of just once, I'd be really happy. And I might even make it kind of like some full body stuff. Like if you guys would like to see my ab training, I'll record it one day. I don't record it because, in my opinion, it's kind of boring. But maybe I need to change that. I need to change my mindset and make it more of a priority. But yeah, so I'm gonna try to throw that in at the end. Probably won't record it, but we're gonna start with seated side lateral raises, 45-pound dumbbells. I'll try to add like a half-second pause. Fight the descent, the eccentric as much as I can. Really work the shoulders, and do what I can. All right, enough talk. One more, maybe two. All right. Well, I felt that more than I thought I would. My forearms are feel a little sore for some reason. Mm. But I'm not. I mean, this weight really isn't that bad for me. It'll be fine. Let's do two more. Um, with the drop set. I'm gonna try my best here. I mean, you guys can't even. I could completely just lie to you right now. You'd never know. But truthfully, I'm gonna try my best to go as quick as I can, as little rest as possible. I mean, I don't want to go so fast that it becomes cardio. Then, I'll start to get so weak that I'm not even really lifting weight that's gonna actually make me grow. It's just a big cardio session. You know what I mean? That's where I think a lot of people make mistakes. But anyways, like a minute, maybe a minute and a half in between each one. And I want to go right into it because when I'm doing a compound or if I'm just deep into the workout, I will admit, a lot of times I take 2, 3, and if I'm going really heavy, 4 or 5 minutes even in between sets. I want to try to avoid that today. I'm not doing it crazy in terms of the movement patterns. I'm not, I don't. It doesn't require a lot of weight. It's not going to be super taxing on my nervous system in general or my body. So I can afford to go a little quicker and still get a great pump and hit the targeted areas. So yeah. Anyways, that's the plan. See if I can actually stick to it. I'm really feeling it now. Whew. See, I always think it's a good idea for my drop set to put my dumbbells that I'm going to use for it already over here so I can go right into it. And it's always a good idea until I'm actually about to do it. Because that little walk that it takes me to walk over there, grab the other ones to come back, gives me a little rest, It's kind of like a cheat code. So, yeah, in theory, having the dumbbells here ready for the drop set without having to get up, it's awesome. But then I put it in practice, and I'm like, man, I kind of wish I just left them over there so I could walk over there and get a little extra. And here I am now talking to get more rest. What can I say? I'm a cheater, I guess. Wow, I did a lot more than I thought I could on that. Probably because I talked for so long. That's what I get, all right? Serves me right for trying to get a little extended break before I actually had to do my job set. I probably added another 15 reps. Well, that's fucking awesome. Let's do some triceps. Well, it took me about 4, I believe, feel out sets here to feel even comfortable to do this. And honestly, I still don't feel fully comfortable. I mean, I just had to say something at the very beginning of this workout. Fucking jinx myself about how I feel great, which I feel fucking great. Just my fucking elbow, man. Um, this is like week number, feels like 1,000. But it's like, I don't know, 3 months straight now of this elbow just fucking give me a little bit of. It's not so bad that I can keep training triceps, but it's enough that I'm gonna keep bitching about it. That's kind of where I'm at right now. So I'm gonna do 3 sets. I've done skull crushers to start with the 80-pound dumbbells or 75s, but either way, I mean, um, for like 3 or 4 weeks straight. So I figured today try to give my elbows a little bit of a break, and we'll do these. Of course, I'm gonna go fairly heavy. I mean, heavy for the rep range. I'll probably be around 15, I'd imagine. Honestly, I might not even get that with my elbow. If my elbow felt better, maybe 15 or a little more. But let me just try it and go from there. I'm gonna go pretty slow, try to manage and be, manage my elbow and be careful. So yeah, but let's just try it and I'll give it what I got. See what happens. Ooh, yeah, that hurt. Son of a bitch. Like I said, man, honestly, I think I did 15 there. The first like 11 or 12, there was some discomfort, but it was no worse than what it has been. I can manage it. Still get some work for my triceps. I mean, fuck, I'm skipping triceps every other week. I'm only doing tricep a tricep workout twice a month, and it's still, fucking with me. So, but like the last 3 reps, that's when it really started hurting. So, but just like skull crushers, I'm hoping one set for whatever reason, and it kind of bothers it, and after that, it feels pretty much fine. So, basically, at this point, I'm just shooting in the dark and hoping that's what happens again. So, I'll rest a minute or so again, and we'll try it. All right, just like I said, it still didn't feel 100% obviously, but felt way better. So, do one more to drop set. All right, let's go back to shoulders. All right, let's have some fun again with these. I don't know. What do I even call them? Um, they're side lateral raises, but I put a little twist on them. I need to zoom in a little, maybe. Um, so I try not to go below this because as soon as I get down here, shoulders lose all tension. About right here, there's still some tension. Yeah, a lot of it is about the stretch, but you can only do so much with the dumbbell shoulder fly. So I try to go no lower than this, and then rather than stopping right here, I'm gonna go up to about right here and try to keep the back of my hands. I obviously can't twist. I guess I could, but it's uncomfortable, and so the idea is to try to think and as much as I can have the back of my hand up toward the ceiling. So you don't need to go heavy here. I normally do 15s, but I've been working up to the 20s. So let me just grab 20s from set one. And we're gonna try this. That whole set built off. First of all, from the very first rep, I fucking forgot, and I immediately went all the way down. Come on. And then after that, I noticed I was like, a half inch or an inch away from the dumbbell hitting my phone. So it just, it was good. Shoulders are burning, but a couple little things I need to be better about in these next couple sets. So yeah, let's do two more. I'll do a drop set down with the tens right here, and that's all I'm doing for shoulders. Because again, Sunday, literally tomorrow, Saturday, one rest day. Sunday, I'll be back in here hitting shoulders again. I'll do more front delt and rear delt work, so my side delts don't get completely demolished. But yeah, so two more and a drop set. I did it again. There was 2-3 reps where I went all the way down. I'll get it at some point today. Fuck. Hopefully on this last one. All right, one more. Okay, let's wrap this up with some triceps. Whew. I was hoping to be able to do some dumbbell, well, unilateral dumbbell behind the head tricep extensions. Fuck, that's a mouthful. Um, and I tried. I mean, I fucking tried. I started with the 45s, which I mean, it's moderate weight for me. The last time, I haven't done that exercise in forever. The last time I did them, I'm wanting to say I was doing the 60s or 65s with one arm. There's no way I could do that today. No freaking way. My elbow's just not gonna let it happen. And I gotta be, as much as I wanted to do the dumbbells, just for something different. Like I said, I haven't done that exercise in freaking forever. Um, as much as I want to do it, it's just not a good idea. So the next best thing, I think, is to do some unilateral, just tricep press downs or whatever you want to call them. Probably won't go super heavy. I mean, I definitely won't go as heavy as I'm fully capable of. Um, my left arm can, but this one just. I mean, maybe after one set, I'll do one set. I'm gonna go. This is probably gonna be fairly light. If I feel like I can go up after this, I will. But yeah, let's just try it and see. Okay, that was okay. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of painful. I probably won't do a drop set on these. I'm just gonna try to, I'll do my other arm, obviously. Try to make it through two more. And honestly, I wouldn't recommend this. If someone felt like this, if they asked me for my advice, I'd tell them take the day or just do something that doesn't hurt it, and try again next week or the week after, however long you need. But I'm I'm fucking stubborn. So, and I'm only two sets after this one. I'm only two sets away from being done. So I'm gonna try to make it work. I'll just go slow and probably won't go any heavier. I'll just do sets of 15. All right, two more. All right, here I am again for round two. Back in one of the gym bathrooms. Come on, man. I probably won't say too much, so people walking by won't think there's a crazy guy in here talking to himself. But I just had to come back in here last Thursday, I believe. I posed in here after chest day, and I loved it. A lot in here is awesome. So we're gonna give it another shot, see if it's as good as I remember. Let's do. I want to hit a side tricep with the shirt on, just because. Not too shabby. Pretty good way to end the week, I think. Other than freaking elbow pain. Only thing I had to do without completely taking time off and abandoning triceps for like a month, which might have to happen. That's like a last resort. I'm just gonna ice my elbow like crazy. I know it's kind of simple, um, but it's effective to an extent. Obviously, I think it's working just enough for me to be able to keep training, like I said. But then, after a couple of days of or one day of no training, um, with some ice, it feels good for a little bit, and then something at work or I train triceps and it takes me right back to where it was. So it's kind of like it's not the whole one step forward, two steps back, but it's like one step forward, one step back. I'm gaining no ground, but it's not getting any worse also. So I mean, like I said, I'll do what I can. Last resort, take some time off from triceps completely until it's better. But that's it, man. I'm done. Tomorrow's my rest day. It's the weekend. I'm out of here. I will go do a little bit of abs, like I said, but um, that's it, man. But today's Friday the 13th, actually, the day after my birthday too. I don't know how close that is. Um, but yeah, so might not be a bad idea to be a little safe tonight. If you believe in that kind of stuff. Friday the 13th, isn't that like a bad luck day? It's like bad luck or something like that. But anyways, yeah, I'm out. That's it. I'm done.